Hi, this is Dana with Designs by Dana. Wanted to come to you with a really quick tutorial. I'm a crochet designer. Most of you know who follow my channel. But I've been doing a lot of hair videos, and you can see right now I'm in the midst of knotting and taking them down, trying to figure out get a good wave pattern when I take this hair down. Just recently had my roots touched up, so kind of liking the color. But the reason I'm coming to you today is because I was working on, this is for my crocheters and people who knit. I was working on this yesterday. This is called arm knitting. Okay, and this is what it came out to. But you probably can't get the full picture, but I'm going to wrap it around my neck a couple of times. So my girlfriend asked me to do a tutorial on how to make this with your arms. And it just looks like a big web, but I told her, okay. So I wanted to get into a room that had quite a bit of light, because a few of my last tutorials have not been the type of quality I think they should be for you to see it really well. By the end of this tutorial, hopefully I've done my hair and it won't be sticking all over the place. Now this fabric here keeps getting caught onto my earring. This is a weird earring too. But anyway, let's go ahead. I want to start this tutorial right quick. But this is, see if you can see it. And it was done all on my arm in a matter of about 30 minutes. And then I also just seamed it together. Actually, I hand seamed it together. And this is only done with one skein of 120 yards of yarn. It's really soft, like a baby soft yarn. And I had seen it done with 2 skeins of yarn or 3. So I'm going to try it to do this tutorial with two things of yarn. So I went to my scrap yarn bag, and I have this yarn, and I have this. So I'm going to put these two together, and then I'm going to show you how to start it and do it, and tell me how you like it. And I'll be researching and doing some more things, because I actually want to use this technique, because I make garments, to make maybe an overlay top or a dress or a beach cover up or something like that. So I was really impressed. So right now I'm just kind of playing around. So hold on a second. I'll get right back with you. I'm going to get all my stuff together, and then we're going to work on this. All right, I'm kind of put my back to you a little bit, because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. If you're right-handed or left-handed, it doesn't matter. Probably should take your jewelry off first so that you don't get that all caught up with your yarn. And you just take, I have two different yarns together. You could do 3 or 4 depending on how thick you want your piece. So I'm first going to start with a slip knot. And so I'm just going to twist my yarn and feed it through. Now you might have to rewind that if you want to see how I did it. Just twist and pull it through. One more time. Twist. And my tail I'm holding on, just pull it through. Okay. I'm going to leave a tail of about 7-10 inches long. Just so when I get to the end, I can tie the two together. All right, so let's get started. All right, so first thing I want to do, I'm right-handed. So I'm going to start with my right hand. I'm going to put the loop on my hand. And this is called my running yarn, those 2 balls I have over there in the chair, which will probably end up on the floor in a little bit. But I'm going to tighten it up just a little bit. And I'm going to start. And what I'm going to do, if you were knitting, it would be called casting on to your needles. But I'm going to do a really simple one. I looked on YouTube, saw several different ways of casting on like this, casting on using 2 yarns, I'm just going to show you something really simple. If this is something you really want to do, you can kind of do some more research. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist my yarn twice and drop it on my hand and then tighten it. Now watch, I'll try it again. I'm going to twist this and drop it on my wrist and tighten it. That's 3. I'm going to take the running 2 pieces of yarn, twist them twice, and put it on my wrist. And I'm going to get 6 of them on here. We'll work with 6 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Twist my yarn, put it on my wrist. My ball's already falling. I'm going to twist my yarn and put it on my wrist. All right, that's the first thing. And there's really only 3 steps to do this. So I'm going to always hold my yarn in the hand that I'm pulling the yarn off to create. Now this is called yarn arm knitting, okay? So the first thing I want to do is transfer these 6 loops onto this hand using this running yarn. Here we go. I'm going to turn my back to you. So I'm going to pull the first 2 loops over my hand, still holding on to the loop, taking that loop and placing it on my left hand. Tighten just a little bit with that running yarn. Take that running yarn back in my right hand. Take the next 2 set, pull it over my fist, drop it, take the running yarn and put it on my left hand. Go back and get my running yarn. Tighten it just a little bit. I try not to tighten it too loose because I got to come back over there. The next set, pull it over my hand, drop it, and put it on my left hand. Go back and get my running yarn, tighten it just a little bit. Over and over. Go back and get my running yarn. The next set. And when I say set, that means there's 2 strands here, 3 strands, 4 strands, depending on how thick you want your piece. I pull it over my hand, holding onto my running yarn. Take that running yarn and put it onto my left hand. Go back and find my running yarn again. Hold it into my right hand. Take the last loops on my hand, which is the 6th one. Pull it off let it go. Take my running yarn and go into my left. So now I have transferred all 6 loops from my right hand over into my left hand. So now there should be 6 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this was specially being done for my girlfriend Carolyn, so I hope you're watching. Let me come right back because I see my battery's getting low. All right, I'm back. Here we go. So that was the first set. Now, running yarn. Don't worry about that tail there. Take your running yarns, hold them in your hand. Take the first set, pull it out over, take the running yarn and put it on your right hand. All right. Try this again. The next set, pull it over your hand, take the running yarn, put it on your hand. Go back, get the running yarn, pull it over, move it. Same time, then grab, go back. Always need your running yarn. This is called arm knitting. There we go. That's the second. And all it's doing is dropping off, and it'll just get longer and longer and longer. Now you can do more loops. I did 10 on the one that I showed you, but I had only used 1 thread, and I did that because I wanted it a little fuller when I put it around my neck. All right, so now I'm ready to transfer these 6, and I make sure I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to transfer these from my right hand to my left hand. One more time. I'm holding on. I pull the first one over. and I transfer it over to that hand. I'm going to need to let this stuff drop on the floor. Take the running yarn, pull it over, all in one swift motion. Over, over. Grab my running yarn. Pull this off my right hand, take this and put it in my left hand. Tighten a little bit if I'd like. Next one, pull it over, one in my hand, go to my next hand. Tighten if I'd like. It depends on how loose you want it. Pull it off and on to the next. All right, I'm not going to say nothing on the next one. I just want you to watch. And I don't really kind of mess with it too much. I just kind of let it drape. My ball. All right, here we go. And what I'll probably do is continue this for about 10 rows and won't bore you too long. And then come back and let you see what 10 more rows looks like. And remember at the beginning I told you I probably worked on that other one about 30 to 40 minutes and I was done. Now the only thing that happened in that 30 or 40 minutes is maybe my phone rang or something and I could still answer my phone. Let's say I had to get up and go answer the door. I'd just have to take both of those and go with me. But I'm thinking for any reason that I had to actually stop, use both my hands, I would have to take a bar or something and run through this. Or I would just take them off and hold them, clip them with something, lay it down. When I come back, remember that you always want your running yarn in front of you. So when you come back, then push your fingers, your hands back through it, and then pick back up where you left off at. So that would be my suggestion if you had to stop. You know, I could see myself in the car going places on a long trip, making up several of these in all different colors. And you crocheters and knitters who have a lot of scrap yarn and you might want to get rid of it, it doesn't appear that you need a lot of yarn to make a nice cow neck. So those are just some suggestions, but I wanted to make sure I did this. I had my girlfriend that you see in a lot of my hair videos with me asked me to do this. She was so impressed by it that she wanted to do it. So I said, oh, well, I know if she wants to do it, that I need to get this tutorial going so I can get her making one. All right. So I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to come back. And hopefully you're getting this really well. And just think if you had thicker yarn, how beautiful this would be. So try it out with 3 or 4 different skeins, or buy the big bulky yarn and use 2 of them. I'm just using what I have at home. I don't have time to go out purchase anything. So I'm going to take this off my hand just to show you what it looks like so far, and then I'll come back after I get it about pretty as long as I want it. So even if I pull it, isn't that beautiful? And this is only with 6. That's that tail. This is where I started at the beginning. I'm just trying to keep hold on this force so I can put them back on my arm. Remember your running yarn. You want that in front. So since I took that off, I'm going to put it back on this hand and start with it here. All right, so I'm going to be back in a little bit. I was having so much fun going fast, I thought I'd just come back on and maybe see if I can figure out how to speed this up so you can see it. And when you want want to figure out how long you want it, you can just kind of take it and wrap it around your neck to see how much further you want to go. If you want to make a shorty, if it's really thick, you can make a shorty. You want to make it longer, and you can just keep measuring around your neck. I loved it. Haven't done it too many new crochet informations. I got a video I'm working on with different tips about crocheting. I probably need to go ahead and finish that one, get it uploaded onto my site. My goal had been to do at least one new video a week, but with life, sometimes it's kind of hard. This is not the only thing I do. I'm an Uber taxi cab driver. I'm a customer service rep online. And I'm a wife, a mom, a grandma. And I just do whatever it takes. Well, this is just so fun. I'm so glad I stopped and took the time to do this quick tutorial, like I said, for my girlfriend, Carolyn. And maybe after I teach her, I can add her on to the end just to show you how easy it is to do. And you can use your own imagination with color. Oh, you can do so many things. I even envision this with cloth, taking some really thin strands of t-shirt strips possibly, and tying them together. I thought this was something my mom would like. I showed her yesterday, but she didn't seem too impressed. So maybe after I go show her what I've done, she might be inspired. I have a video on here about her making rugs. She designs rugs now out of old sheet bedding. So you can look up her video to remember while I'm talking. Keep the running yarn always in the hand that you're taking the yarn off of. Okay? Alright, let's see what my length is. And then I'll show you how to cast. We cast on, now we'll have to cast off. Okay? But I don't want to cast off until I have it as long as I'd like. And I still have quite a bit of yarn left. So I'm going to go ahead and get it as long as I want. I think I'm going to go is the length of my body folded in half, and that should be enough to wrap around my neck twice. All right, I'm back. I did 90 inches length and long. I did, the 6 makes it about 8 inches wide. All right, so I'm on my last row. I'm stopping on my right side. I'm going to bind off. And to bind off, pretty simple. Same thing. I'm going to take the first one, go over to the second one, to my left hand, I'm sorry. I'm going to take the next one and go over to my left hand. This is where the bind off begins. I take the first one over top of that one and I drop it. And I go back onto the right side and I take the next one off and put it on the left hand. Then I take the first one and go over that one and drop it. Go back and get my running yarn, put it over here on my right hand, take the next one off, put that onto the left hand. I'm binding off. The first one, take it over top of there and drop it. Go back and get my running yarn, take the next one off my right hand, put it on my left hand, take the first one, take it over top and drop it off. Get my running yarn again, take the last one off, put it over on my arm, take the first one here, and then bind it off. Holding on to that last one, I'm going to cut enough to go across. So I'm going to go about 10 inches because I'm just going to take that end, put it through that hole, and tighten it. That is your bind off. And you might want to secure that knot so it doesn't go anywhere by making another knot if you like. Alright. So now you need to lay the piece out flat. I still have a lot of yarn left. And this was just scrap yarn. And I still have a lot left. I could probably do another one. Wow. Hope you didn't hear that one. So, I'm going to get this one on this end. Make sure I have it laid flat. Get the other one and tie it to this one. So because I want a continuous loop, I have to make sure it's flat together. Alright, so I'm tying those two together. And then what I'm going to do is just seam it across like that. And that makes it a cow. Alright, so I'm going to tie these two together, like I said. Right here with just a double knot. And then I'm going to go across the tops to close it off. And with the other one, all I did was actually just fingered it. You can take a darning needle. But I find because the holes are so big, it's much easier for me just to take that long piece and go from side to side. So I'll go up underneath this one. Then I'll go on this side and find a small piece to go up under. And I will do what I call a loop. I just kind of loop it. So make sure it stays. Then I'll go back over to the other side, to the next one, go up underneath it, and just alternate, back and forth. And then every now and then, doing a slip knot. So just going back and forth, just to bring it together. And because it's so wholly, it'll just blend in really nicely. Alright, it's easier for you to see when you're doing it in person than what I'm trying to do here on video. And I think I'd like this even more thick, even thicker. All right, a little slip knot. Seamed it together, and then I'll just weave that in, and it's done. All right, I think I like mine a little wider like the other one, but just for purposes of doing this video, I only did 6. I think I would have did 8 or 10 to make it a little wider. So you just put it around your neck. You can double it, or you can triple it. And it's really soft. And you get rid of those tails that I haven't gotten rid of. Very nice. And if I made it wider, I would be able to actually put it up over my head like the other one. I like to, when I go out in the cold, even though it's not really blocking anything, I like to do it like this. You know, ladies, when we get these hot flashes. There you go. All right, so that's just the idea. And try any color you like. And that was called arm knitting. So thank you for watching. Enjoy. Have any questions or concerns? Thank you again. I was cut off. I'm having a whole bunch of trouble trying to get this little short video together, as I called it. Comments, concerns, like I said before, leave them in the bottom, and I'll get back with you. And as always, thank you for watching my channel, and be blessed, because you are blessed by the best. Thumbs up, rate, and subscribe. Take care.